What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 119. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat if you're a subscriber over there. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. You can catch it the very next week over on YouTube and podcast services where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So yes, another solo episode. I know your guys' favorite episodes. Don't worry, I'm going to get off my butt tomorrow and try and plan some guests on this thing because it's been about a month straight of just solo casts. But today we're going to be talking more wrestling. Woo! Only for a little bit. We're going to be talking about, for topic one, to kick off the thing, we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumble, which as of recording happened last night, and how it might have been the worst Royal Rumble ever. Why? So, anyways, Royal Rumble last night, 4 hours per usual WWE pay-per-view, it seems nowadays. The event itself, the hanging out portion with family and let's pick our winners and what surprises we think were going to happen, fantastic. Great time there. You know, it's not like, I wish I had that 4 hours back. That was all great. It's just the event itself, the wrestling matches, just did not do anything exciting or rewarding at all. So I had mentioned last week we had the series of 5 or maybe 6 matches total. So I'm just going to quickly run through the main matches, the title matches, what my thoughts on those were. Won't deep dive into those too much, but the main point that I'm going to dive in today is the Rumbles themselves and just what the fuck happened with it and just questioning everything like WWE. What the fuck's going on? So we open the night with the Universal title. Seth Rollins will defeat Roman Reigns via DQ. This match was odd. Not that the guys didn't do well. I thought they did. It just was odd in a few ways. Odd portrayal of Roman. But we're going to set him up as the head of the table, the tribal chief, the guy you got to acknowledge, blah, blah, blah. We're going to acknowledge him as this for months and months. And then seemingly this whole match, he's going to get his ass whooped for most of it until he finally turns the tables around on Rollins. Now, I've seen some articles online, some people tweeting out like it made sense because Seth is in his head and the whole Shield conspiracy of like, I was the successful one out of the group, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can get that. Just seemed odd to see Roman in such a weak state and like questioning himself, especially for how the rest of the night was going to play out. So anyways, Roman gets frustrated, gets DQ'd by just choking out Seth, not letting go of the hold after the 5 count. Okay, whatever. So we get this, we get a beat down with the chair. Okay, so does this leave seeds for Seth to get a rematch with Roman at all? Question mark. Guess not because of later events. We are going to go, not doing this in order, we're going to go to Becky versus Doudrop. Ladies did fine. Very predictable finish here. That's really all I have to say. Followed a shitty ending of a match. Audience wasn't into it. They were more invested in a sign burning than the match itself. So yeah, there was that. Whatever. You get Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Alright, I shit on this match a whole lot last week, and I had good reason for it. This just turned into a 10-minute suplex match where a little bit of over-rotation of suplexes early on may have led to a lot of unsafe attempts at suplexes even later in that match, where Bobby has to land on his shoulder, because I know how wrestling works. That's a lie. Don't take my word for it. Seemed like he was rotating and landing on his shoulder to try and protect himself. Didn't look safe at all. Didn't look like a fun time. Anyways, referee's going to get bumped. Brock's going to attempt to pin, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work out. And here's where it gets interesting. I will say this part of the night I was fine with and kind of set things up in motion for down the road for Mania season, as the Royal Rumble should. We get Roman Reigns showing up again, spearing Brock, and then taking, or rather being given, the title from Heyman, his former manager, Brock's current manager, hitting Brock with the belt and costing Brock the belt, having Bobby Lashley win. So, I thought this was cool. Fun swerve where Heyman is now turning on Brock and actually has been aligned with Roman this whole time. Also, this rights the ship for what was supposed to happen on day one or whatever the fuck the pay-per-view event was. Where it was supposed to be Brock and Roman going for the title against each other and Heyman in this weird limbo position. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I'm not the biggest Bobby Lashley fan, but he's believable as a champion. I'm fine with that. And this sets up Brock and Roman. Like I said, steers the ship back on course for where it was and where it was going. Totally fine with that. Will I be disgusted by it later? Yes, we'll get to that point. Mixed tag match. A-okay. Maurice has to fix her outfit every 30 seconds. That was it. I don't know. Whatever. So now let's get into the disgusting part of the night. Both the Rumbles. And I know if you didn't watch last night and you're a casual wrestling fan or you have any history of wrestling, you're like, wait, Bret, you're telling me the Rumble was the worst part of the night? Isn't that supposed to be the most exciting part of the night? And to that, I would say, yep, you're right. It's supposed to be the most exciting part of the night. Should be fun with some returns, fun with just fun spots, blah, blah, blah. We got none of that last night. Now, once again, we had kind of made a fun event of it last night where we all picked cards randomly. Those would be the people we cheered for. And then we had random selections of who we thought would be surprises. All that was fun. All that was fun. But in the overall scale of things of building storylines, usefulness for what the fuck is going on, never really happened. And Papa Griff sent me an article earlier today that kind of summed it up perfectly, where, as I mentioned last week, there weren't a lot of believable winners in either Rumble. The men's Rumble, I think, only had like maybe 6 people. I was like, okay, and the confirmed people that we've seen, 6 of these guys, I'd be like, okay, you know, I believe that as a Rumble winner. And with both of these Rumbles, nobody stood out as like, you got the ball, you're taking it this year. There was worries about Charlotte taking it on the ladies' side. And while I also would have been disgusted, not disgusted, I would have been upset or angry or, booing the heel. If Charlotte had won, it makes sense because she is built that way. We perceive Charlotte that way, that she's, believable. Not that she has to be our favorite, not anything like that, but like believable, or she's a believable choice to win it. Shayna, we wanted to win to get her to be believable again. She's been kind of this weird, wishy-washy, mixed tag match, not strong heel that she was. This could have put her back on that spot. Mickie James would have been the like big what the fuck moment, but would have made sense because she's a champion in another company, and maybe that could have led to something interesting down in Mania. So a few believable things, but nobody like 3 of the 30 participants. That was it. That were like at least going into what we knew were believable. So anyways, here's your participants for the Royal Rumble for this year. Sasha Banks, Molina, Tamina, Kelly, Aaliyah, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Natalia, Cameron, Naomi, Carmella, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Ivory, Brie Bella, Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Nikki ASH, Summer Rae, Nikki Bella, Sarah Logan, Lita, Mighty Molly, Ronda Rousey, Shotzi Blackheart, and Shayna Baszler. So, there's your participants. Now, there's a couple names in there that were surprises, that were kind of not that big of a deal. Molina entering number 2. In my honest opinion, that was a cool one. That was cool to see her there. Unfortunately, I don't know if this was a mess up. I don't know if this was scripted. I don't know, whatever. It did look very... something went wrong. She got eliminated very, very early and did nothing in this match. Nothing. Her entrance may have lasted longer than she was in this match. 53 seconds she got eliminated at. So that was upsetting off the bat. Set it off on the wrong foot. So, anyways, Molina comes in as a surprise, is out almost immediately. Then, you know, we get whatever. Kelly shows up, is in there for a minute. Let's see, who else we get in here? We got, holy shit, Michelle McCool lasted a while. Dana Brooke in there, 2 minutes. Sonya Deville also in there for 2 minutes, but barely in the match because she sat outside just waiting for Naomi. Cameron, another surprise from the Funkadactyls. Probably one of the worst wrestlers ever because she doesn't know how to pin somebody. Yes, that was years ago, but I can't let it go. 51 seconds. I guess I get it because it was a little bit of a build with Naomi. Dumb. Anyways, Ivory. That was a comedy spot. Whatever. I get it. That one I'm okay with. Not the most surprising or fun one, obviously, but whatever. Okay, then we get Mickie James coming in. Yippee. Got her Impact theme. Got her Impact title. Sweet. Fantastic. We get a little bit of marketing for Impact. Yippee. She comes in. She does pretty well for herself. She's in the match for 11 minutes, 40 seconds. Not the best, but, you know, she's in there for some time. What came out of this? Not a whole lot. Now, we talked about this last week, like, what's the point of this deal? And I brought it up, like, maybe it's just good favor or, you know, trying to make up for the past. When Mickie was released, some bad stuff happened with the, I don't know if it was talent relations, whatever, Mark Carrano sending her stuff in a trash bag. Whole media thing blew up about it. Carrano gets released. Obviously, that's not what you do. Maybe this is just an olive branch to her. And from these results, it seems that is what it was ultimately. It was just an olive branch. Impact gets some marketing. Impact gets, you know, their name out there. The title on TV, or the pay-per-view rather, and I guess also TV with SmackDowns and stuff that they were announcing her on. So, okay. I guess if that's what it was, that's what it was. A little unfortunate from a fan perspective, wanting more, but, yeah. Another thing that Papa Griff did point out last night, they do save face. They don't also put down Impact in this moment by having a current superstar throw her out. They had a legend throw her out, so there's no harm, no foul there. We're like, oh, we're WWE, we're better. Ugh. As Lita's retired or, you know, out. Not a big deal there. Just unfortunate it didn't lead to anything else. There was a point where Charlotte was on the ropes. I thought maybe Mickie would come out, knock her off, and that could lead to something down the road if this relationship had gone any farther than the Rumble, but unfortunately it just didn't seem like that was the case. So just from a fantasy booking side of things and a fan perspective, while very cool that we had finally somebody from a different company making an entrance into the Royal Rumble and doing this Forbidden Door, you know, relationship, just that it was only this, just a little bit of a letdown. Alicia Fox making a surprise appearance. Dumb. She did her thing last year with the 24/7 belt. Also dumb. Nah. Summer Rae was announced before. 52 seconds. Just to do something with Natalia to call her a bitch when she threw her out. Don't know why we did that. Sarah Logan, cool surprise. All of 43 seconds she was in that match. We get a little Riot Squad reunion. Everybody's happy. And then immediately we shoot it in the face and just eliminate them both. Awesome. We get Ronda coming in. Now this is where everything just fucking... Everybody's on the pedestal, the mountaintop screaming. From a business standpoint, I get it. Ronda's a name. Ronda obviously can pull in other audiences to, you know, the WWE audience, try and pull her over there. But yes, as Lady says in chat, she is a garbage can. I have learned she has some very disgusting opinions that she has shared. And, yeah, obviously, you know, wrestling fans, we've talked about it before. We don't like when somebody from the outside is just given the rocket and you're immediately champion and then nobody else succeeds along with you. Now, I can understand some kind of rebuttal to that. Like the first year, she was there. She was there every week. She was wrestling. She built herself up. It was really that second year. We give you the title. We're going to have you hold on to it forever. And then that's the only way we can get the ladies into the main event is having Ronda involved. Nah, that's a bunch of malarkey. Anyways. So Ronda comes in. Fine. It's a cool surprise. Not my most favorite, but whatever. You heard the crowd. Everybody's excited. Woo! You know, we didn't expect it. You watch her perform in this ring. These punches, this is a legit MMA fighter, UFC fighter. I know, obviously, if she really punched me, I'm going to be down on the ground, you know, throwing every organ up. She's hitting these ladies, if that's even kind to say. She's not even making contact. Such half-assed effort with everything. Oh, just oof. Big oof. Big oof. Anyway, she's going to go on and win the thing. Great. So she's going to Mania. Whatever. All right. Now, going forward, if Royal Rumble does what Royal Rumble does and pretty much lays out the groundwork for what Mania is going to be, Charlotte being the last one eliminated by her to be the winner of the Rumble, it could make sense Ronda versus Charlotte, which I like because it's something different, but I don't like because I don't care to cheer for either of them. I guess I would cheer for Charlotte because she's been there. But then on the other side of things, if we're not going to be blatant with how we're laying everything out, then it leads to Becky. Yes, they have history there. Do I want to see that again? Not really. And especially with Becky being big-time Bex and being technically a heel. Like, she doesn't want to be cheered. She's very determined to be a bad guy right now. How does that matchup make any sense? So, big question mark here. Are any of the ladies really built up for anything? Like, you know, some of us we still have obviously our favorites and we have faith in, you know, we want to get behind them, like a Rhea Ripley, like a Bianca Belair, you know, but like looking at all these participants, like, okay, Sasha's obviously Sasha. She's recently come back from injury. She had a weird, like, way to be eliminated. Throwing Sasha in anywhere, it works. Is Carmella legit? No. Zelina? No offense. Naomi is a mixed bag. If you want to commit on Naomi, that's a good one. But right now, it's like, what are we doing with Sonya? Yeah. Natalia's a great talent. Obviously, she's been around for a while. Not the most exciting, but can work. But yeah, we're not, like, no. She's not doing anything. Aaliyah? No. Liv? We're trying. I still don't, I'm not behind it. Not her, like, as a person or her as a talent. It's just like, you're not believable. Once again, believable is going to be a big word on this one. Dana Brooke? No. Tamina? No. Sonya's GM? No. ASH? Oh, that's another thing. So Nikki ASH comes in. She's got this story going with Rhea, right? They're against each other, the former tag team. She comes in, does this whole thing trying to get Rhea out. You want to continue that storyline, have one of them throw the other one out. They come in, they butt heads, they yell at each other for a little bit. One of them almost gets eliminated, and then nothing. Then they're just like completely ignore each other the rest of the Rumble, and don't even get eliminated by one or the other. Rhea was eliminated by Charlotte, and Nikki as ASH was eliminated by Ronda. What? Okay. And then and then you get to the last two participants, Shotzi, Shayna. Shayna, like I said, this would have been the redemption arc or the start of it. Shotzi's had nothing going for her since she's gotten the main roster. Her and Tegan Nox were tag team. They were dominating. They beat the tag team champions at the time numerous times. Never got a title shot. And then Tegan gets released. What the fuck? So, no, unfortunately, Shotzi's not believable either. So, it's just like, what are we doing? We can't... I know Ronda's the name, but we gotta start doing something here with all these ladies. Hell, we had to call how many people in legend status and outside to even try and fill in this bitch with 30. Oh, just not a great look. Not a great look. No NXT reps. No Raquel Gonzalez. No Io Shirai. No Dakota Kai. No Kaylee Ray. No, oh crap, I'm blanking on her name. One of the newer girls over the past couple years. Zoe Stark. None of them. No NXT representation. Okay. Alright, that's a good sign for our future. Let's go with the men's rumble, shall we? Participants. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Austin Theory, Robert Roode, Ridge Holland, Montez Ford, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, yep, you heard me right, Angelo Dawkins, Omos, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio, Happy Corbin, that's a dumb name, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, Rick Boogs, Madcap Moss, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Otis, Big E, Bad Bunny, yeah, you heard me right there too, Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar. Oh yeah, that guy from earlier. Okay. So, I will say this. The men's rumble started off fine. And then there was a big turning point where it turned not fine. Okay. So, exciting start. AJ Shinsuke. Awesome. These guys have worked together, obviously, in New Japan. They've worked together in WWE. Ooh, we dropped the ball there. They have history. This is exciting. I'm down with that. They start. We get some interesting people showing up later. Theory was a good one. Start him off early, get him some credibility. Bobby Roode comes in, 54 seconds. We're not going to talk about that. That was disgusting. Ridge Holland comes in. Okay, fine. We got to get him some time as well. And then we start getting into no offense to Street Profits. I talked about this last week as well. Nobody from the tag division is believable to make a singles push right now. And that's it's not like that I want them disbanded from their tag teams. No, we need fucking tag teams. It's just you're there. I don't believe that you're going to do anything here as well. So Montez comes in. Priest comes in. Cool. Doesn't do a whole lot, unfortunately. Actually gets sacrificed later in the match. Sami Zayn comes in. He's just there for the punchline of Johnny Knoxville, who he lasted a minute and a half. Good for him. Gets to sell his movie tickets. Angelo Dawkins, yeah. We get Omos in. Alright, Omos, big 7-footer. Remember that sacrifice I talked about? Yes. Priest is going to be the sacrifice for Omos. And then the rest of them, along with some guys later, are going to finally eliminate Omos. All right, I get it. He's a big guy. We got to do that big group up thing like we did with Big Show and Kane in the years past. All right, whatever. I'm not sold on Omos yet. Just because he's tall doesn't mean he's, your money man. But what do I know? Ricochet, filler. Chad Gable, filler. Dominic Mysterio literally did nothing in this match. Filler. Happy Corbin. Ugh. Baron Corbin was cool once. We talked about it last night. It was when he was a lone wolf. Everything else than that. Ugh. Ziggler comes in. Okay. Sheamus comes in. You see how I'm just breezing through these? It doesn't mean anything. Like, these people, some of these people, used to mean things. And it's just like, they're throwaways now. And once again, it's not because they're not talented. We know, hell, we all know Ricochet is talented beyond everyone's belief. But, like, these people, we do nothing with them. And it's like, why should we care? Priest we should care about. Priest has been given the rocket since last year, since doing the tag match with Bad Bunny into Mania, since being US champ. He's been doing great. He's been dominating. When he's having his matches. And here, we took all that momentum we've built up, poured it right in the trash. Right in the trash. He meant nothing. Sami Zayn. I know he's the big comedy act. He had his thing with Knoxville. We could do something with Zayn. Do something. He was in there for 3 minutes, too. So, yeah, I talked about Dominic doing nothing. Ziggler, I didn't care. Sheamus, I didn't care. Rick Boogs did well. He got some momentum for himself. Good on you. All right. Madcap Moss comes in. This is the biggest one of the biggest disgusting moments of this whole thing. So I mentioned how the beginning of the Rumble was fine. There was some faith. Then we got a lot of fillers. And then we got the first stab in the gut of like, uh-oh, this is bad. And that's when AJ gets thrown out. Styles gets eliminated by Madcap Moss. Who the fuck is Madcap Moss? That elimination was nothing. AJ was in there for a half hour before getting tossed like garbage by nobody. Ooh, God. All right. Then we get some bigger names, so it gets a little bit more exciting. Still got the sour taste of AJ losing in our mouth. We get the big names. We get Riddle. We get Drew McIntyre making a surprise return. We get Owens. We get Mysterio. We get Kofi Kingston in there for 21 seconds because he couldn't catch himself. It's not how physics works, Kofi. That was very unfortunate. I don't think that was planned either. I think he was planning to save himself, but 21 seconds, see you bye. Otis shows up. Okay. Big E shows up. Okay, good. A lot of faith in Big E. And then we get Bad Bunny in there. Okay, fun surprise. Fun surprise. Not gonna lie. Didn't think it would happen. Shane McMahon comes in. Okay. Okay, that's another sign this is bad. We couldn't get anybody big to the end. We get Orton coming in. Alrighty. Now, before I discuss our last entrant, I mentioned these big names. Big E's going to get tossed out by Orton and Riddle. Now, it makes sense. They're a tag team. They're going to work together. Big E barely made an impact in this match. No pun intended. Now, I don't know if this is because Kofi went out. And they were supposed to do some stuff together. But it seemed like he did barely anything in that match. Lady mentions in chat, Kofi tweeted something like, sometimes you try and fail, so definitely think it was an accident. Potentially. That was definitely a big disappointment compared to his past year's saves. But yeah, not even 30 seconds. He was supposed to do something E later, according to the internet. Okay, well, that's just unfortunate. And that's unfortunately how the Rumble works. Is there's so many things that can go wrong in that match. already talked about with the ladies, Molina taking that fall potentially. Injuries can happen that modify things. Like, there's so many factors in it that anything can happen, and it's surprising that these matches in the past have worked out so well without things going wrong. So yeah, there's just nobody really stood out here as like, okay, this person's gonna win. So like I said, we had the dagger first when AJ gets thrown out. Then we get another dagger when Shane comes out. Like, okay, nobody here, not a Finn, not a Cesaro, not someone else. Okay. And then we get 30. We get Brock. Now, someone explain to me the logic here. I'm throwing the Royal Rumble. I need 30 people. I'm going to assign every fucking spot in this Rumble. Whose spot did Brock take? Did Brock beat somebody up in the backstage? Maybe we should show that. Did Brock pay somebody? Maybe we should show that. Was the spot just empty the whole time and we're going to say, hey, referee, you're in the Rumble now? Because fuck it, I have nobody here. How does this make sense? Comes out, he's in the Rumble, and wins the fucking thing. Why? This man already has a storyline for Mania. We established it earlier in the fucking night. Roman's pissed, gets DQ'd. Roman comes out, costs Brock the title. Heyman's in his corner. It writes its fucking self. We don't need a build. We don't need him to be established anymore. It's clear as fucking day. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Universal title. Hopefully Brock doesn't win. Why do we need this? We don't. We fucking don't. Give it to somebody else. Like we talked about last week. Give Big E the redemption story. Now it's not against Lesnar. It's against Lashley, who maybe Lashley would have won it in the Fatal 4-Way originally on day one. Give it to Drew. He's returning. Fucking do that. Give it to Mysterio. Give him one more run. Give it to AJ because he's never won the fucking Rumble before. Do something. But no. Give it to Brock. Because fuck it. We had no plan. Okay. Alright. Send him home fucking happy. Oh, wait. They weren't. So there was that. Brock was in for 2.5 minutes and threw out the remaining 5 participants, being Orton, Bad Bunny, Riddle, Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre. Okay. Alright. So, was this the worst Rumble ever? You know, you would think 2020 would be a hard year to fucking pass with Brock just dominating the first half of the men's Rumble and wasting everyone's time. But yeah, unfortunately, I think this is the worst Royal Rumble ever. The finish, clearly you saw how upset I am. Welcome to the show. The believability of any of the cast in here, the superstars, the participants in here, you have more believable names later out, but like they have no traction behind them to make me actually think maybe this is their year. And yeah, 2020 was just one Rumble. You had a first shitty half with Brock dominating. But that's Edge's big return, and you get the satisfying moment of Drew finally conquering the mountain of Brock and winning the whole thing. So, like, that was a satisfying moment. This is very similar to Batista winning. This is a non-satisfying moment. Like, I can think of 3 Roman winning with The Rock coming out and everybody booing the shit out of him. Batista winning, Daniel Bryan not being involved, booing the shit out of him. And now you have this. And somehow this feels the worst. Like, oof. Forgetting the fact you have outsiders come in and crush your people. Exactly, Papa Griff. Exactly. At least Brock has been around recently. And like, I've said it before. I don't like Brock, but I get it. I get why he's a money draw. I get, like, he can do stuff. He can have interesting... Well, okay, maybe interesting is a little bit of a exaggeration. I get why he's around. I like that he has matches with different people. I'm just sick of him having the fucking belt, and we're not doing anything with everybody else who's there. And, like you said, outsiders. Ronda coming back. Our return is fine. Our return is fucking great. But her returning does nothing. She's going to get the belt. We know she's going to get the belt unless she's just doing this for a 2 to 3 month paycheck, which then, fuck it, whatever. WWE's got the money. We released 100 plus people this year. Like, if that's just your payoff to escalate fucking Becky, escalate Charlotte, fine. I don't give a fuck. You know, whatever. But it's like pointless at this point. At least Brock's been there, but like, he doesn't need this. Once again, he had a fucking story already from that night. We know for sure he's gonna get his revenge, or attempt to, on Reigns at some point. He doesn't need the Rumble for this. He's Brock fucking Lesnar. He can just walk in there and just be like, I'm Brock Lesnar, I'm mad, I want a match. That's all he does. That's all he needs. He doesn't need this. Give it to somebody else. Set someone else. Set someone else up for Bobby. Make it something interesting at least. I am sounding like Cornette, and I don't know if to take that as a compliment or not. But like, it's so ass backwards. This was laid out. That's fine. That's the course we're going on. Why fuck up the other storyline that we could build here? There's no mystery element in the choice. Brock's over here. No, fuck, the winner of the Rumble is going to go after the Raw title if they win. That's fine. But make it interesting. Right now, Bobby's got zilch. Now we got to start from scratch. Who goes after Bobby? Is it Big E? What credibility does he have to build? Or say that he deserves a title shot? Is it Owens? What credibility does he have? Is it Drew? Everybody's starting from nothing. Brock's a big fuck. That's all he needs. Like, I'm a UFC guy. I'm a multiple champion. He needs nothing. We've seen it in the past. Just put him in the fucking match. Let's build someone else. Oh, God. And the ladies, going back to that. We have nobody. Like, personally, like I said, we cheer for Bianca. We love Bianca. We love Rhea. Like, we have people we want to do well. And last year, with Bianca and Rhea being the last two, and Bianca winning at the Rumble, and then going to Mania and winning it all, this was your push. Hell yeah. Next woman up there, along with the Baileys, the Sashas, the Beckys, the Charlottes, the Asukas. I know she's kind of been on a flux lately. You know, that's a push. That's how you build a superstar. Good. Do that. And then this year, you're like, you know what? All that build we did for Bianca last year, fuck it. Ooh, boy. It just, I don't know. It does. It doesn't make sense. I get it. Once again, I get it from a business standpoint of outside eyes looking in. Sell more tickets, sell pay-per-views, sell the Peacock Network, whatever the fuck you need to do. But for the longevity of your product, that's not going to work. This is putting tape over the leaking pipe while 8 more keep happening. It's a temporary fix, and it's not going to last. Lady in chat says, okay, here's an honest question. What's the point at which you give up on WWE and stop watching? That is a great question. And it's a hard question as well. Because obviously over the past, however long of a stretch of WWE, whether it's the releases, whether it's the NXT Black and Gold brand getting shot in the face and killed, whether it's the constant trash with Brock, whether it's the Ronda Rousey stuff, whether it's all the other, drama that surrounds wrestling in general, but, can be found in the WWE history. At what time do you stop watching? There's so much we've gone through, and it's so hard to say, because once again, I've said this before about like the participants in the Rumble. It's nothing against them. I know these people are talented. They're there for a reason. I shit on, there's some people who probably could use a little bit more of a rep work. I know these people can wrestle. These people can perform. I know what they can do. I might not have seen every match on the independents, but they were they brought here for a reason. Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen has a fucking history of positives and negative in WWE. Same with, Drew. Same with Big E. Same with Dolph Ziggler. Same with all these names. I know they can do that. So I think that's what keeps us watching, is like Papa Griff says, we want it to turn around so badly. We have faith in these talents and want them to succeed. And when WWE, when they do it right, it's so fucking rewarding. Once again, the Bianca arc. Awesome. Very rewarding. We get a satisfying Rumble win. We get a history-making main event with 2 black women main eventing, a Mania night, and obviously Bianca's established there as a superstar. There's other moments like the Daniel Bryan thing, like his, obviously, rise up to the WrestleMania 30 win. It's just, at what point do we stop? I don't know. I don't know if we ever can. And yeah, it's just the faith that we want things to go well. And there's been signs of things going well at times, not like right now. Once again, NXT Black and Gold. That was a sign of like, oh shit, this is something big. And, those talents eventually making to the main roster. Some of them made it through. Like, I could go through here and tell you how many people were fucking NXT involved. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of the 30 men's participants were NXT alumni. All to various, success rates. Looking at you, Madcap. You're in NXT hell. Ages. Like, it had something going for it. And, like, you see how well balanced and successful things were there. Granted, there's a lot of NXT call-ups that did not do well. And that's because of booking or whatever. But there are signs of good. And we just want that success to continue. Because once again, when they do it well, they can do it well. So what point do we stop watching? I don't know for sure, to be honest. The releases this past year or two has definitely hurt. I I might have talked about it whenever I talk about wrestling discussions, whether solo or with a guest. Like, I don't watch weekly anymore. I have no interest in watching a Monday Night Raw for 3 hours. I have no interest in watching a Friday Night SmackDown for 2 hours. I would watch NXT week in, week out, because it was interesting. I tried 2.0, not my thing. So I don't think I watch any WWE program week to week. It's just the pay-per-views. And, you know, it slowly over time, it has lost me. Like, there's some pay-per-views that I either watch late or don't watch at all. It's like a slow burnout, I guess you could say. And, you know, Mania is always huge, the Rumble's always huge, SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series. Those are the big four. Those are the ones, you know, you want to tune into. We'll just have to see. I guess time will tell if those kind of stick around with interest. And it's rough. I don't know. It's a very hard question. I know I didn't give a very definitive answer of like when it stops. It's gotten harder to keep going. Let's see. Bob Griff says, we've had stacked pay-per-views in the past, top to bottom, not like now, tons of shit, and then one show. Yeah. Compare these Rumbles with Rumbles of the released talents alone, probably much better with all the releases. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just, like, Rumbles of the past, even if, like, entrants 10 through 15 weren't believable, like, oh, you're going to win it, like, at least it felt like even just the entrants themselves, it was more enticing or exciting. And I'm not sure if it was like maybe they came out and did more moves or like had more of a moment. I can't really think of any standout moments from the men's Rumble. Maybe Mysterio. Mysterio came out, not Dominic. Ray came out and did like the most impactful stuff in his initial, you know, entering of the ring, which, you know, is a typical Rumble fashion, but it works. I felt like a lot of people, men's and women's, would come out, maybe have one big move, and then they would go into a corner and punch somebody. And, like, burn time until the next person comes out. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels off. Ricochet is killer. Now he's a lawn dart. Yeah, he's been a lawn dart for ages now. And it sucks. I mean, he's there to do his role. But, like, there's a way to spread the notoriety, importance, value around. And they, for some reason, can't seem to find a way to do that. Like, Priest, once again, Priest is great as U.S. champ. He's doing good. What other mid-carders have we built up along with that? Hard to say. There's some people who were built up before, like a Dolph Ziggler, like, it's now. Like, does he mean anything? No, he's just kind of there, because he's in this weird limbo. Not that I'm against him and Rude tagging, it's just like, it's this weird ebb and flow where, like, people will be involved in stuff, and then they're not involved in stuff. Involved in stuff, not involved in stuff. And it's like, why should I care? I've talked about this with other wrestling companies, too. Like, AEW has a huge roster now, and I feel they're having the same issues. Is it as bad as WWE? No. Don't get me wrong there. But sometimes it's like, why should I care about X, Y, or Z? They're not around. So yeah, they just need to be better at making believable people, even the lower card, of like, hey, maybe this is this mid-carder's chance to break through and make something, you know, surprising. Like, that was Drew McIntyre. Drew was doing what? Was in limbo with Dolph, being his, like, bodyguard, and then he was doing some solo bad guy stuff for a while. And then the Rumble with Brock was his kind of breakout into this main event spot. And now he's kind of dropped back down, which is fine. You can't be at the top all the time, because then you turn into a Roman and people hate you for it, or a Seth or whatever. Like, it's fine to have those ebbs and flows, but as long as the investment is still into those characters, I think that's fine. Let's see, Papa Griff says, but you're correct. They didn't forward any other stories, unless maybe AJ and Omos. Lots of work to do for Mania. 100%. 100%. At least in past Rumbles, you could see seeds planted for storylines. Once again, I brought up the Rhea versus Nikki ASH thing. ASH comes out, almost eliminates Rhea. They bitch and yell at each other for a moment, and then they totally avoid each other the rest of the match. Neither one of them eliminated another one to progress that story forward or even put a finish point on it. The only storyline I saw from the Women's Rumble that continued was Naomi and Sonya. Really? Like that one, and I guess establishing Charlotte Ronda with the last elimination. I guess you could say that one. But other than that, didn't feel like that much. What did we do in the men's match? Let's see. Who will... I guess you could say AJ Omos, just because AJ eliminated Omos. But everybody was on him. So it's like, I don't know. You got the Knoxville thing with Zayn. Big whoop-de-doo. Not like they're doing anything after, unless this builds to a Mania match. Like, everybody wants to see that. There's nothing. Like, Orton didn't even turn on Riddle. Which, I mean, I guess I'm kind of glad for. But, like, that would have been something. Set them up for a Mania match. No, they work together. They're still best buds. I don't know. A lot of questions coming out of this Rumble. It's going to be interesting. They set up a lot of work for themselves for this coming Mania season. And yeah, it's like Lady mentioned it earlier, like what point do you stop? I don't know. Like I said, I can't give a definitive like this is the stopping point. It's just like it's unfortunate. They're losing more and more of the interest level over time. I don't know when you finally shoot it in the foot and say no more WWE. I don't know. It makes you like other wrestling companies a little bit more and be like, oh, they're doing good stuff, or oh, they're not doing good stuff. So I don't know. It's a car crash now. You gotta look. Yeah, it's like you don't want to look, but you can't look away. Yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this Mania season builds up. They got until April, I believe, 63 days from yesterday, so 62 now. So roughly April something, beginning of April will be Mania. 2 nights most likely, because everybody's got to participate. A lot of building we need to do. A lot of building.